Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Muddu Saranai. Today I am very happy to conduct this international Dhamma program on the Duruthu full moon Poya day on the topic of Nibbana is a pure mind, and this will be conducted by Bante Mr. Kamalesiri Thero, who is a guided meditation teacher at the Metta Meditation Retreat Center at Janesville, Minnesota, USA. When Bante Mr. Katero, Venerable Vajrarame Jnanasiha Thero, our other Venerable priests, our committee members, Senaka Samarasingha, we have Udaya Nepola, then also we have our distinguished invitees, Deepal Suryarachi, and many others who are present, and also all our Dhamma friends from local and global countries who have been attending our Dhamma sermons. Today, as you all know, is a very special day for Buddhists, and it's the first full moon Poya day of the year, the Duruthu full moon Poya day, which marks first full moon Poya day for the year 2025, and the first visit of the Lord Buddha after 9 months of enlightenment to visit Mahayangana in Sri Lanka to end the hostilities between the Yakas and the Nagas. So Lord Buddha, using his supreme supernatural powers, was able to bring peace, and the Blessed One preached the message of peaceful coexistence to them. One of them was Sumana Samana, who obtained Sotapanna and begged of Lord Buddha for a relic to pay homage once he had left. Some locks of Lord Buddha's hair, the Kesadhatu, was laid in a golden casket, which Sumana Saman enshrined in a small stupa built for the site where this occurred, now known as the Mahayangana Mahaviharya or Chaitya. Following Lord Buddha's Parinirvana 543 BC, the collarbone or the Griva Dhatu was enshrined in the Mahayangana Rajamaha Viharya. Duruthu full moon Poya day marks this very religious Poya day for all Sri Lankans. Some of the other matters of special importance is, of course, the Duruthu Maha Pirahara, which is organized by the Karaniya Rajamaha Viharya, and of course the commencement of the Siripada season on this full moon Poya day. So today, as I mentioned, I must thank our committee member, Mr. Senaka Samarasingha, for the for the invitation that he had extended to Bante Mr. Kamalasiri Thero to deliver this Dhamma talk. So I will now invite Senaka Samarasingha to briefly introduce Bante Mr. Kamalasiri Thero. Over to you, Senaka.
This is the first time Mr. Kamalajit Thera conducting a sermon for International Dhamma program. He has done a lot of work in Sri Lanka before coming to US. He started with practice under Ananda Maitya Thera in Sri Lanka, and he was the coordinator secretary Ministry of Religious Affairs. He had done a sort of work such as secretary to the Kandy District Committee of Buddhist Authority, advisor to the National Resources and Environment Ministry. Early 2000, I can remember when I was attached to Environment Authority, Mr. Kamalajit Thera was very close to Environment Authority with Director General Ms. Manil Jaman. And he had conducted a lot of sermons at the Central Environment Authority. Now he's attached to the Metta Meditation Center, Janesville, Minnesota. It's the largest meditation center in the North America. During this last summer, our family members went to Minnesota, and we couldn't go to the main center, but we had went to be attended at the center there in city center. There's a small unit at the Metta Meditation Center, and we met Bante Sati there, and we had attended a sermon there at with Bante Sati. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Senaka. With respect, I now invite Bante Mr. Kamalasiri to deliver Pansil and then commence the Dhamma talk. Sadhu, sadhu.
Say Namo Tassa the 3 times.
Namo Dassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Dassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Dassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa.
Buddhang Saranang Gacchami.
Buddhang Saranang Gacchami.
Dhammang Saranang Gacchami.
Dhammang Saranang Gacchami.
Sanghang Saranang Gacchami.
Sangham Saranang Gacchami.
Dutiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami.
Yampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami.
Dutiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami.
Yampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami.
Dutiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami.
Yampi Sangham Saranang Gacchami.
Tatiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami.
Tatyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami.
Tatiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami.
Yampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami.
Tatiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami.
Tatyampi Sangham Saranang Gacchami.
Saranaгаmanang sampunnang
Bante
Panatipata Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Anatipata Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Adinadhana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Innadana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Kamesu Michachara Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Kamesu Michachara Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Musavada Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Savada Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Surameraya Majjapamadatthana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Suramire Majjapamadatthana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Tisaranena Saddhing Panchasilan Dhammang Sadhukang Surakkitang Kattva Appamadena Sampadit.
Bante
Samanta Chakravalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddhammang munirajassa tunantu sagga mokkadang Dhammasavana kalo ayam badanta Dhammasavana kalo ayam badanta Dhammasavana kalo ayam badanta Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Venerable Vajirarame Jnanasiya Thero and other friends in Dhamma. First of all, I am happy so much because of this. So many familiar names are here, especially in the panel test. Then, because I'm happy because the people who were working around Dharma Vijaya Foundation, still they are working for Buddhism or Buddha Sasana. That is interesting thing and something happy to see. And today, Poya Day, therefore, I'm thanking to all of the organizers today having me here and given this Dhammadhana to the people all over the world. Then today we are going to talk about Nibbana. That's the topic. It is not a new word for us, and there is no new things to introduce, but we have to discuss, we have to analyze this topic again and again because that is our goal. That is the thing we try to realize and experience. Therefore, we need to talk again and again until we experience or attain to Nibbana, Yava Nibbana Pattiya. So, preachers like us, the monks, or any lay clergy or any who give the talks about this topic or teach talks or write the books. Some other people also try to explain this. Artists also belongs to that because they also try to teach Dhamma with their brush or paint, pencils or colors. They also try to do that. Unfortunately, in modern days, artists, they are very talented people, but unfortunately, they don't have the knowledge about Dhamma and Dhammanusati and Buddhanusati. That is the main trouble with them. When we go to the Anuradhapura, we can see many artworks which can teach Dhamma to people. However, the mostly artists who symbolically depict Nibbana often they depict it as a lotus flower. Why? Why they do it? Because that is inspired by a sermon of the of the Buddha. Because once Buddha said, just as a lotus flower growing in a swamp rises above the mud, blooms and exhausts it fragrance, so too does a person who has attained Nibbana shine. Because Buddha also symbolized the Nibbana, the experience of Nibbana, as a lotus. Therefore, our artists, not only them, always we got it as our symbol. Why is that? We need to understand, when we try to understand what is the concept of Nibbana, it is very important, like the teachings and the life of Buddha also, because that is the way how we can understand what is the Nibbana. Now we can see at the beginning, the Bodhisattva, Prince Siddhartha, Siddhartha was looking for kusala. That was the word he used. He had the question. He had the question. What is the kusala? Then sometime today, we can think, well, everybody know that. No? Everybody knows that. Even the Dhamma school students also, if we ask that question, they also can give answer for that. Then how become it a special question? That knowledge is very simple thing, because we have learned from Buddha. Therefore, people can give like that formal answer for that. What is the kusala? But this word, the kusala, that question is very deep thing and broad meaning, and it is a vast subject. Therefore, we have to think about that. Because the people who were in the society where the Bodhisattva Siddhartha lived, not just ordinary people, the scholars or ascetics, they also has discussed about this topic. What is the kusala? Then we can understand what was their answer for that. What was the scholars, the scholars who lived the same period or before Siddhartha, what was their answer for this question? What is the kusala? We can see in literature, especially in Sanskrit literature, Vedic literature, how they have discussed this topic. In Bharata Muni, he says this kusala, that is a energy, it is come from the God, Brahma. That is coming from the Brahma, the God. It is not belongs to human beings or the earth or human world. It is heavenly thing and it is come from the God. And he believed the kusala means the talent, human talents. That was his answer for this. Even today also we follow the Bharata Muni's concept, because in even today Sri Lankan education in schools, we use this word kusalata. No? The kusala, this word. Even today in education field, we use this word. That is come from the Bharata Muni. That talent, the kusala. Then, even today, we can see when we start learning, study at the first children's, the parents offer the puja to the Ganesh, because they believe these talents come from the gods. Therefore, they worship the gods, offering pujas to gain this kusala. That is ordinary thing. In Ayurveda, they also has discussed about that. They said the healthy physical body is the kusala. That is the answer from the Ayurveda tradition. So we can see how they discuss this subject. Then the Siddhartha, the Bodhisattva, he had question because he never agreed with that idea from the Bharata Muni or Vedic idea that kusala come from the God. He never agreed with that. And he didn't agree with that knowledge, the Vedic knowledge and other knowledge come. He didn't agree with that. That is the why he asked that question, what is the kusala? Then he decided to renunciation or go away from the home, because in that time the ascetics, they were practicing something to gain kusala, to achieve the kusala. That ascetic life, that was based on the Ayurvedic concept, the healthy body. They wanted to control physical body and train physical body and keep the healthy body and to develop their wisdom. That is the thing they wanted to do, and they did various type of ascetic practice. They have given so many names, different names for their methods. Those are the those methods we can see in Tripitaka also, like Govruta, Ajavruta, Sunakavruta, like that names we can see. But mostly I'm not agree with commentaries, because the commentaries has given very low idea about this Vrutta. But originally this Vrutta had big knowledge, and it is not like something lower thing like mentioned in commentaries, but they had a very interesting and developed knowledge about this subject. However, the Siddhartha, as an ascetic, he also practiced uh, most of those practice, and he tried to achieve his goal, this kusala. But finally, with the after practicing all of those practices, methods, he understood, yes, I have done, but not yet I gained the kusala, not yet experienced this. That was his second question. Then he was helpless. He was helpless. There was no any teacher. There is no anyone to ask. There is no any other person to get opinion. Then he had to think. He had to realize by own. But he didn't give up it. That is the very important thing. He didn't give up it. Finally, he got idea. That is, the Siddhartha understood this kusala not come from outside. It is not come from the God of Brahma or anywhere. And it is not something physical. It is not something physical. But this is related to mind. It is related to mind. That is the thing he realized. But today, it also not big thing, because we know it. But we have to understand that this is the first time a human being realized this. This is the first time in history. We never see, we not see this that topic in this angle. That is a trouble. It is trouble with us. But this is the first time in this on this earth as a human being in modern history recognize this concept. The kusala is not related to the heavenly thing. It is not related to the physical body or physical thing, but it is related to the mind. Yes, we can think, we can see the teachings, all of the teachings before Buddha. There is no clear idea about mind. Even though sometime, even though they're talking about about thoughts, but no clear idea about what is the mind. That concept is not there. But Buddha or Siddhartha realized this, the mind. That is why after enlightenment, he teaches the mind is the prominent thing. Mind is the prominent thing. We can see in the Jain teachings also. The Jain Mahavira, Jain teaching was before the Buddha. They also teach the physical body is the prominent one, number one, Kaya Danda. We can see that in their teachings. At the first time, as a human being, the Siddhartha Gautama, ascetic Siddhartha, realized this. It's a mind. Then, when he understood about the mind, he started observing the mind. That is very important thing. Observing mind. Then he became observer on mind. After this observing, he understood in the Dveda Vitakka Sutta, he mentioned that very clearly. He said, he understood that if I divide these thoughts into two categories, it is better if I divide thoughts into two categories. What are the two categories? Kusala and Akusala. The Kusala and Akusala. Now we can understand how he found the Kusala. That was his question. Now he have good direction. Not yet achieve or experience Kusala, but now he have direction. He know there is Kusala and Akusala in mind. Then we try to translate these two words into English as wholesome thoughts, unwholesome thoughts. It is okay, people can understand sometimes. Some people not understand that. Some English speaking people also, native speakers also say sometimes there is no like that word there in our language. Sometimes they say. But I think we don't want to hurry to translate these words into English. Because Kusala, everybody can understand this word. Everybody can pronounce these words easily. Therefore, we can use these original words as yoga. The yoga, that word not translate into English. Everybody knows what is the yoga. Same way, we not need to translate all of the basic concepts, words into English, because some English words we are not going to translate into English. As example, even though we have the word for the computer in Sinhala, Pariganaka, but we use the computer. It is okay. Because of that technology and knowledge came from through the English language, it is okay, we can use that. Same way, this Dhamma knowledge has come from the Pali language, and it is better if we use those words as them. Then people can try to analyze and understand what is the meaning of these words. So, this Kusala and Akusala. In Dveda Vitakka Sutta, the Buddha has given an explanation for that. How we get idea about, recognize what is the Kusala, what is the Akusala. Buddha says, if any thoughts harmful to oneself or any other person, others, or both oneself and others. If any thoughts makes barriers to wisdom, or if any thoughts not help to achieve nibbana, that is akusala. But if any thought not harm to oneself, not harm to others, not harm to both sides, and if it is helpful to wisdom and it is helpful to nibbana, that is kusala. Then he understood this, he recognized this. Then he decided all of those akusala thoughts need to remove. All of those akusala thoughts need to remove. But these kusala thoughts, we need to use, we need to increase, we need to develop them. That is the vehicle for our travel. That is the thing recognized by the Bodhisattva. That is the important thing. That is the important thing. It is recognized by the Bodhisattva. Before they attain to Nibbana, before they attain to enlightenment, before the Buddhahood. Then he start his practice. That is the way later he named as Majjhima Patipada, middle way. Yeah, Majjhima Patipada. Now, with this explanation, we can understand what is this word kusala, which Siddhartha Gautama question, and later he used this word Satcha. That word also he used parallel to the kusala. Wisdom also. Wisdom is not something knowledge. It is wisdom is. It is the understanding of clear mind, pure mind, the mind without defilement. That is the wisdom. Then the Nibbana, this word also came in that way. Because Nibbana means, Nibbana, that word has explained by the most venerable Ananda Maitri Thero when he given talk about Nibbana, that subject in English. He say, this word mean cool, peace, calm, serenity, bliss, supreme happiness, passionless, and yes, passionless. Those are the words here most venerable Ananda Maitri Thero has given in English for the Nibbana. Because it is very difficult to give, translate this word also into any other language, because it is cannot be happen because of the in this part of world, the western part of the world, there was no the experience about Nibbana. Therefore, it is not a human experience in these cultures. Therefore, there cannot be like that words in these languages. So the Nibbana means the mind without defilement, the pure mind. That is the Nibbana. Then this mind, when there is no defilement, means all of the kusala phenomena arise in that mind. That is the thing happen. Then all of the kusala thoughts start to activate in their mind, in pure mind. Therefore, Nibbana means we can say it is pure mind, clean mind. From what? Defilement. Then in sutras, we can see wisdom, the panya, and nibbana, and kusala. These three words used in same meaning, actually. That is the interesting thing here. Then, now we can see what is the Siddhartha Gautama did, what is his practice. He analyzed the kusala thoughts and akusala thoughts. He divided them into two categories. And he decided to remove all of the akusala thoughts. And he decided to use and practice and increase all of the kusala thoughts. Then he started to purify his mind. Then according to that way, he wanted to, he developed his mindfulness, sati. Because the sati is the most important kusala, the mental states. The sati is a most important mental state, sati, for the wisdom. And therefore, he developed sati, or mindfulness. For after he developed in the mindfulness, he understood he wanted to develop, increase the samadhi. The samadhi, tranquility, but the samadhi. Then samadhi, in that time, he was thinking about how can I develop my samadhi? How can I establish in my samadhi? Then suddenly came the idea from the past, because he remembered that the meditation which he practiced in the farm, paddy field, anapanasati samadhi. Then he started to practice the anapanasati, breathing practice with mindfulness. But it is not the pranayama in yoga, it is anapanasati. Then, by the anapanasati, he establishes samadhi, high level of the samadhi, highest level of the samadhi. With that samadhi, he removed all of his defilement. He developed extra sense also. Then it was the complete enlightened nibbana. With that experience, the Buddha has explained how he attained to nibbana in many sutras. Within these sutras, we can understand what is the nibbana. which thing we try to analyze. But unfortunately, mostly the idea about the Nibbana, it is wrong idea. It is something we have to experience after death. Yeah. Sometimes people think, they imagine it is something far away after death, a place we can go, like that idea. Therefore, the people have wrong idea about Nibbana. Therefore, they not understand what should be done for achieve Nibbana. Otherwise, when we talking about Nibbana, we're talking about after Nibbana, there is no life like that, so many nonsense things we're talking. Then what happened? People, even though whatever they say, but in the mind, they doesn't like, ordinary people doesn't like to give up this everything. Therefore, they don't want to experience Nibbana. There is something happening. But we don't want to think about that, what's happening after death. Some people ask that question also from the Buddha. The people who enlightened beings, Tathagatas, what happened to them after death? Are they still continue or not, exist or not? The Buddha rejected that questions. He said those questions are wrong. We not need to think about that. What we have to think now, there is defilements in our mind. Therefore, we are not healthy. Until defilement are there, our mind is not healthy. Therefore, we don't want to think about our death, life after death. Our responsibility is remove all of the defilement until the last defilement and achieve the pure, clean mind. That is very practical thing. That is very easy to understand what Buddha taught here. So, I try to explain to you about Nibbana within the Buddha's teaching, what he tried to explain this with this word and what he want to teach us. And I think it would be helpful for everybody to analyze this concept about the Nibbana and the path of the Nibbana. Then at the Dhammacakka Sutta, everybody know it. We know there is Buddha has given eightfold path. That is the project Buddha has given. But in that project, the eightfold path also has mentioned to how to develop the positive thoughts or kusala thoughts in our mind. Finally, we can see it in the eightfold path. Therefore, most important thing is mindfulness, the sati. That is the key for the nibbana or wisdom. Therefore, our attention always must be kept with this, the mindfulness or sati. And we have sati, almost we have sati, but we not use it for this matter. And it is not number one in our life. That is the trouble. We have sati, mindfulness. We are doing everything with the mindfulness, but Mindfulness is not number one. That is the trouble. Sometimes the people who quarrel with other people, they do it mindfully. If anyone want to blame with harshest words, they do it mindfully. But what is the trouble? Their number one is anger. And that is the number one, the anger or desire. The mindfulness is not in the number two, but also three, four, five, like that way. That is the trouble in our life. The mindfulness is not new thing. It is already in our life. But Buddha has advised us kindly. What is that? Make your mindfulness as a number one, as a prominent thing. Then after that, what happened? If mindfulness is number one, then all of other things go down. Then mindfulness can dominate all of those things, manage all of these things. That is the way. Therefore, we can understand this, why Buddha gave the Satipatthana, he has established on mindfulness. That's the thing. Therefore, I'm happy here, and thank you so much for your listening. Then I think Professor Lakshman asked from me to give chance to guided meditation for a couple of minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I think this is time for that.
Yes, there is time. 10 minutes. We will do one thing.
Yes. We were talking about kusala and how Bodhisattva recognize that and categorize into two groups or two categories. Same way, try to practice it at this moment. Be aware of present moment. You are participating with the Dhamma talk with a group of people. Be aware of present moment. Be aware of your physical body. Be friendly with your physical body. When you pay your attention to your physical body, as well as you recognize your physical body, you can understand your mind also. Analyze both of them, your physical body and your mind. With happily friendly. The physical body, the mind. Now you can understand your mind. You can understand your thoughts. Be friendly with thoughts and observe them. Relaxly, with friendly mind, with happy mind. Observe your thoughts, whatever kind of thoughts are there. While you are observing your thoughts, try, try to analyze them and try to categorize them as kusala and akusala. Don't struggle with them, just observe them. Awarenessly, friendly, peacefully observe them. This is important moment for you because you are observing, you are looking at yourself. Observe all of thoughts, positive, negative, kusala, akusala, wholesome, unwholesome. As Siddhartha did, try to observe your mind. try to analyze your thoughts. Thank you. And now it is time to Q&A.
Thank you, Bante, and much merit to you. I think Bante explained in a very simple language about Nibbana, the Kusala and the Akusala, and also how one has to really get involved in this, which will bring also happiness and wisdom to them. So I think you can send your questions on Q&A. So before that, I would invite Venerable Vajrarame Jnanasiha Thero to give his thoughts on the Dhamma sermon.
First, I'm extremely happy to see Kamal Siri after a long, long time. I think I've not seen him for 10 or 15 years, I think.
I think we met. I met you just after you ordained.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Not after that, yes.
Yeah.
And we have very pleasant meeting memories of that period. The thought that occurred to me is that when I listened to the sermon, Venerable, the oft-quoted Sabba Papa Sakarana, Kusala Supasampada, Sachitta Pariyodapana, Etam Buddhana Sasana. That's what I thought you explained very well. But sometimes the question asks whether Papa and Kusala and, the way you translate it, and as you mentioned correctly, we can't translate some of these words into English. And when you translate it, we get a different picture altogether. So if it's Kusala, Akusala, then Papa, then we have again, there also we have Kusala or Kusala Chitta. So like that, the thing is, without translating, if you understand that what is required is to know the wrong thoughts. You didn't like the word unwholesome or wholesome because that's not English, this you said. So understand your unwholesome thoughts, and understand your know the wholesome thoughts, develop the wholesome, and get rid of the unwholesome as much as possible. And I think I have been quoting this recently also, toka toka kane kane at the moment. And that is every moment is important for this development and finally to get the peace of mind that's there. So let's all try to develop that peace of mind by getting rid of the dross, the defiling factors, and then developing the wholesome factors. Thank you very much, and I'm very happy to see you.
Thank you, Venerable Vajrarame Jnanasiha Thero. I don't know whether Bante, you want to make any observations or comments or
No, just only say the thank.
right. I think we have Mr. Deepal Suryaraj. He is also very closely involved on the meditation and mindfulness. Deepal, you have any thoughts you'd like to express?
I also have seen the Bante after must be more than 20 years or so. I met him at Nilambe long time ago. Bante, very nice to see you. And I remember
Thank you.
you.
And I can remember once you give a call to me. It also 10 years ago, I think.
Yes, that is after reading the book.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
From Missaka to Himalaya or something. Yeah.
Medurudin Himagiri.
I really value one point you mentioned, that sometimes by trying to translate some of these Pali terms, you end up leaving room for weak interpretations. And I think your strategy of referring them as technical terms and trying to explain it, I think it's better, so that you have I think it's a good practice. I mean, in scientific fields also we use the Latin terms still, and then English terms and similar. Actually, your introduction to Dvedaha Vitaka Sutra in the process and this whole thing, observing the thoughts as kusala and akusala. And while trying to do this, one observation that occurred to me, I want you to comment on that. One is really thoughts pop up only when your awareness becomes weak. And then you notice a thought, the moment you notice a thought, Bhante, then we are analyzing a thought not as it occurs, but that was a mind moment before, because then that thought is not there. You have a slight memory of the thought that popped up. And when your mindfulness or the awareness is very strong, there's no thoughts. Then you begin to notice your breath very easily. So my question to you is, we are then analyzing a thought that was there. So we are using the memory of the thought, the color of the thought, and then trying to say whether it is kusala or akusala. How do you manage this thought moment?
Actually, it is depend on the person, how we take the approach for the practice. First of all, as you mentioned, we have to recognize our thoughts, because it also very difficult thing at the beginning, because all of the sense, the five sense, are open to the outside, to the world.
Yeah.
Then our mind has set up with that.
Yeah.
Therefore, always mind also think about something outside, which gain through the senses.
Senses, yeah.
Therefore, we have to train our mind to observe oneself. We have to turn our camera inside. That's the thing. It also training at the beginning. It is difficult, but when we have that training, then it is easy to do. But the trouble is mostly the approach. Mostly the meditation practitioners, their approach that sometimes makes some troubles, because normally we think we have to struggle with all of the defilement places. That is the trouble. We start to struggle. It is a big struggle in life. That is not mentioned about the original Buddha's teaching. That is why I mentioned before. Just observe. That's observe. Then we can see. Because at the beginning we cannot achieve the samadhi at once. We need practice for that also. Then when we see, if we see a pop-up a thought, then we can recognize it. Yes, this pop-up thoughts. It is not the practice. My goal. It is not my goal. It is not my aim. Then with mindfully, we can recognize it. But trouble is not that. Within the if the thought which newly pop up thought, powerful, then it is conquer all of the kusala thoughts, means the mindfulness and everything. That is the trouble.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Bhante. So there are a few questions. I will read it, Bhante. First question is from Shanta Senarat. Honorable Bhante, thank you for your excellent explanation of Nibbana. How can one realize the attainment of Sotapatti and other higher levels of attainments? Can you feel it in your mind or body?
I don't know how I can start to answer for that. This is the way. This is kindly. This is not advice. This is opinion. Just my idea. Actually, we don't want to think about the Sotapanna who that high levels names and those labels, because those words has used to explain this subject. You know, the when we do the scientifically studies about any subject, we need technical terms and labels for the stage and categories. Therefore, in Buddhist teaching, in Buddhist philosophy, we have those names. But in practice, to achieve the Nibbana, we don't want to those words. Um, just only thing is pay attention to the defilement and try to remove the defilement. Then we don't want to think which level am I now, the am I Sotapanna or any highest level or what happened. But our observation must be, are there any defilement? If there is any defilement, we have to remove it. Therefore, I'm not trying to recognize which level, which steps I am in now in meditation practice. My concern is, are there any defilement in my mind? That's the thing. And always Nibbana experienced by the mind, it is not the physical thing. It is always experienced by the mind. It is mental experience.
Thank you, Bante. The next one is from an anonymous attendee. When you say you need to observe your own mind and thoughts and about the physical body and its functionality, does it mean there is yet another third force other than the mind and body that does this aspect?
No, it is because misunderstanding, because the I wanted to give the guided meditation for you. Then it is understanding physical body. It is very easy to understand the mind thoughts, because of the some people who are not experienced with this practice, they cannot recognize what is the mind. Therefore, first we have to pay attention to physical body. Then after that, we can understand what is the mind. You can see in Satipatthana Sutra also. First, we start with the Kaya Gata Sati. It is not like Asubhanusati or something we practice. It is Kaya Gata Sati, means mindfulness of body. That is the interesting thing. Therefore, the pay attention physical body means awareness of the physical body. The people who have understanding about physical body, it is easy to understand the mind also.
Thank you, Bante. The next one again from anonymous attendee. Is being suspicious of certain person's honesty considered as an unwholesome thought? So, is being suspicious of certain person's honesty considered as an unwholesome thought?
That question is little bit.
Hmm?
Is little bit. Deepak, can you give answer for that? Can you understand that question? Is it clear for you?
Yes, the way the question asked is, in our normal life, sometimes we want to be vigilant about the intention of another person. So whether this person is honest or dishonest. So the questioner is asking, having such a suspicion about the other person's integrity or the honesty, is it a wholesome thought or an unwholesome thought? That's an interesting question, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to you need to be conscious of some people will come with a very bad intention or try to come and cheat you. Then you need to know, if you don't have that clarity, you get you get cheated, right? I, in that sense, I think it's a skillful thought. I don't know how the other panelists would want to comment on that, Bhante.
Yeah, thank you so much. That because this is the way when we start this practice, that like that questions comes because is it kusala or akusala that that's come. It is, but if we are in mindful and with the discussions like this, the discussions we can analyze it.
Thank you, Bante. Senaka, you have any other thoughts you would like to express before we have to unmute Senaka?
Thank you. It's nothing now. Time is already given now by this time. We are thankful for Pante for conducting this sermon for us. As Pante Vajirama Jnanasiya Thera mentioned, we associate this monk for the last 20, 30 years.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senaka. I will now invite our committee member Kamal Nilavira. Kamal, would you pay merit to Bante?
Sure. So thank you, Lakshman. Sadhu. Buddha today the sermon on Nibbana is a pure mind on Duruthu full moon Poya day was very valuable. Being the first Poya of the year and also combining the visit of Lord Buddha's visit to Sri Lanka. Actually, Venerable Mr. Kamalastero explained very well the path to a middle way about Nibbana and wholesome thoughts and unwholesome thoughts. Actually, it was really a interesting sermon, and we were fortunate and blessed to have in the panel Venerable Vajrarame Nanasiya Thero and all our panel members. And today we had over 157 participants from all over the world listening to us. Now it's my duty to thank our committee member in Canada, Mr. Senaka Samarasinghe, for arranging this sermon with this with Venerable Bhante, Mr. Kamala Siritero, for this erudite sermon. Thank you very much. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Kamal. Bante, as Kamal Nilavira, one of our senior members mentioned, we also have an international audience, and normally from about 15 to 20 countries where they attend, and some of the main countries like UK, USA, Australia, Japan, Cambodia, Canada, Malaysia, Singapore, India are some of them. So we have been continuing this, and we very much appreciate the kind presence of all these Dhamma friends from these various countries, and that a lot of them have sent very good comments after the Dhamma talks, telling about the good they have heard, and also where they've been able to verify their questions. And I'm also very thankful and pay merit to Venerable Vajrarame Jnanasiya Thero, who's also been one of our close advisors and helping us, and also conducting Dhamma programs, and wherever possible that he comes to the Dhamma program, and also we've been able to make this close link, which has been far apart for some years, and I'm sure that this is also a very good occasion where some of the senior monks get together. So Bhante, we are very thankful and much merit to you, and for the kind acceptance of our invitation. I know from Mr. Senaka Samarasinghe, who's been one of our key committee members who've been inviting members, and as Bhante mentioned, a senior maybe a committee member of the Dharma Vijaya Foundation, that these links have been maintained. So Bhante, if we can now give pay merit to the departed and also to the gods, and we can end the Dhamma talk. So.
Then transfer the merit for the divine beings. Tavatacha amhehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabbe satta anumodantu sabbha sampatti siddhya. And transfer merit to the departed relatives. Idhamme nyati nang hotu sukita huntu nyatayo. Idhamme nyati nang hotu sukita huntu nyatayo. Idhamme nyati nang hotu sukita huntu nyatayo. May you be happy, peace and calm. May you be attained to Nibbana.
So. Thank you and much merit to you, Bhante, and we will be through Mr. Senaka Samarasinghe, we'll be keeping in touch with Bhante, and maybe we will be able to invite maybe sometime later when Bhante is free for another Dhamma talk. Sadhu.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Thank you.
Then thank you very much, Vajra.